obviously the big women's storyline that's that poor storyline is struggling, but it's got a little bit of I guess it got revived a little bit with the Ruby turn, which we all kind of saw coming, I think. And so they did have that, and that of course led to the Ruby promo, which Jim discussed on his show yesterday, and definitely got people talking. And
you all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
Thank you for having that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you have that ready, because it reminded me when you were going through it yesterday, and it was like it reminded me of Two Truths and a Lie, because that's kind of what her promo was. She started, because I was listening to it when she was telling, I was like, well, yeah, she's not wrong about that, and then I was like, well, that's a little debatable. So yeah, she did have because I think because I know she brought up the Chris Statlander thing, but there was something before Chris Statlander, right? That she brought up. Why am I blanking on what it was that she said?
Was it Britt?
May have been. Yes, I think so.
My very first title match here in AEW was at Grand Slam against Britt Baker. And when she beat me, these people were thrilled.
Well, so they're a truth. And then the second truth was the part about being booed out of the building when she beat Chris Statlander. But I did notice she did not bring up that Jade is the one who beat her to become the TBS champion. That is a topic that Mel and I have talked about quite a few times, that now with this situation, I don't know if that's the route they'll go. And I know they've been kind of waiting on Chris Statlander, and it seems like if the reports are to be believed, she's not quite ready. So we've talked about maybe the fact of having Ruby be the one to dethrone Jade, because Jade beat her to become champion. So I think that's a nice story. But I noticed that she did not bring that up at all in her promo. But then she had her truths, and then I guess the lie part is not necessarily a lie. I guess it's just a matter of opinion on whether or not people were begging for Saraya to come out of retirement. I don't think people really knew that Saraya could come out of retirement, so I don't know that they were exactly begging for it. But
I didn't beg for it, but I don't know. Maybe someone begged for it at some point. I mean,
like maybe her own fans, I'm sure, which but nobody knew that she was even in the, that she could even potentially.
Yeah.
Sure, there's Edge, and of course, everybody, and Stone Cold had his match at WrestleMania and things like that. But, nobody knew if Saraya would ever be cleared again. So I don't know that they were exactly clamoring for her to come back when we weren't even sure that she was cleared. So I thought that was an interesting. It was a good promo. Like I was glad to see that from Ruby. I think she needed that. To kind of just show what she can do on the microphone, because she hasn't done a whole lot of it. It would be really interesting to see her doing a promo with Britt Baker. I think would be some interesting TV, especially now that Britt's kind of in the baby face. Not kind of, I guess she is the baby face now. So she's got to, and especially the way they were talking about like how you have to, you can't build off of a broken foundation. You have to demolish it and start all over, which I was like, I don't think Britt's going to take too kindly to that, because she, she's carried the division on her back from early days. And so I thought that was it was a good promo, I thought, but there were definitely some interesting things. So what do you think about it?
I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I think one of the things when I first started watching wrestling, what I always liked was the extemporaneous aspect of it, where you work within the space and you react to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And she was reacting to the fans.
Agreed.
She didn't just come out and read her memorized lines, word for word, and just get through it. She knew where to pause. She knew where to kind of stick it to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
She was really good, I think, in that interactivity.
Yeah.
I was most impressed by that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said yesterday, I don't know if it's because she's on the smaller side or Vince didn't get her look or what it was. She's not like the greatest wrestler ever, but she's not terrible.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. I'm glad she's getting this opportunity to really kind of do her thing. And I think that, I think a heel Ruby is going to be a lot of fun.
I think so too. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how that would go because I like Ruby a lot, and so I kind of liked her in the role that we've seen her. But that definitely opened my eyes to like what she's capable of doing.
I don't know that she's going to win a lot,
right?
But it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think about it, Mel?
I was on the fence until I heard you guys break it. Like we heard the breakdown a little bit. Like yesterday was. And I decided that
yesterday was really helpful.
I like because you did actually break the promo down. Like it was hilarious, but it was also very informative. Like,
thank you.
We got to read this comment. The only thing I beg for as a fan is attention from Tanahashi and his Instagram comments. You know what? I mean, Tanahashi. He is the ace of the universe, and we all love him to death.
Yes. I just want hair tips.
Right.
Me too. Oh my gosh.
He's giving them all to Shooter apparently.
That's perfect. That guy is going to be the IWGP champion.
I cannot wait.
One day. He's going to be the champion one day. He will be. I mean, it's maybe they should like really bet on him and just go for it at some point.
I think they will.
The future is very bright for New Japan.
I am so happy. I mean, we're not going to get into. We got Brad's comment here. Yes. This was one of the better You People promos, but a better reason would have been Britt has been bad. Listen to me from day one. Why would I help her? Yeah.
Like, I agree. They do lean into kind of what I call the WWE-ness of things, which is because that's what they know. And that's the system they came up in. So they do kind of lean into, I mean, of course it's wrestling trope in general, but it's very heavily WWE trope. And because it's what we've seen for, decades now, and that's what they came up in. And so I feel like, especially Saraya leans into that a lot. She leans into, to that type of stuff. And so it seems like Ruby is kind of doing that as well, leaning into the WWE stuff.
It's weird how much Saraya does lean into it, considering she's a carny and came from the whole.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like she can't break herself out of it. I mean, and maybe with time, the more she does it, the more she'll maybe find her own footing outside of that. But maybe it's just what she knows, and so she just goes to it because it's what she did for so long. And it's TV versus, so maybe that's part of it too. But yeah, that is a really interesting point that
it would be fun to see her go old school carny, like regal, like what we were talking about version of her, as opposed to what she's doing right now, and not do like just shed the like the sports entertainment thing entirely and go do like, British strong style kind of old school, like World of Sport-esque, like, something, I don't know, a little more like that. That might be fun for her actually, because she could lean into being a carny, especially in AEW where they're kind of making fun of kayfabe all the time.
Right.
So
that's the thing. Very quickly, I don't understand why the Jericho Appreciation Society doesn't do more sports entertainment stuff.
Yeah.
They should try to do all the WWE tropes and fail.
They should like slap the thigh.
They should be doing.
Slap the thigh.
That's what I
I would probably appreciate the Jericho Appreciation Society a lot more if they did that.
That would be so
like they're just heels.
Yeah.
Tony Khan needs to give them some sort of 3D graphic when they come out.
Oh my God.
Yes, I love this.
They need to try to do contract signings like all the time. All of these things, and then have the AEW wrestlers outsmart them, because we've all seen it a million times.
Right.
I don't understand.
I guess, and now that you've, I would enjoy that so much
That would
better.
be
and
the
make them
best thing
fresher.
for them
And then
to
it kind of
do.
it kind of goes back to the Ricky Starks thing with the way Ricky Starks tricked Jericho into signing a contract to keep JAS. That is that is kind of a sports entertainment move that they did. So maybe they'll stick with it. So Don says he'd really get behind the trio of heels if they started cutting promos saying they miss the WWE universe. I, for one, am very against that because I don't like that's kind of what they were doing in the beginning and it didn't go over well.